Alrighty, so we've got a little bit of news, and I wanted to go over Skadi and the banner and everything and kind of just give you like a should you summon. I have watched a couple of different content creators, of course, JP stuff, so yeah, I feel like I've gotten a decent sort of idea about the unit, but obviously, you guys can watch the same content I have. I don't have my hands on the unit or anything yet because I'm a global player, so, take some of that with a grain of salt. But the first thing I want to go over is the 5th anniversary pre-registration notice that got posted today. Basically, they are doing a sort of like gift reward thing. You can see you get 30 gems, 10 pendants, 30 SA coins, a couple of demon mats, and a true awakening, or not true awakening, a like full awakening sort of coin. And that, I assume, is going to be to help you power up the new character that's going to be released for Anniversary. The fact that they're giving out SA coins, obviously this isn't enough to fully SA the character or anything, but that is probably enough to compensate for the extra SA coins that you're going to need for a UR character, so I can only imagine that's kind of the thought process behind that, because for the last couple of UR characters they have been releasing, they have given us extra SA coins to sort of compensate for the extra amount that you need to power those characters up. So, on this website, I'm going to leave a link to this forum right here, so that way you can go to it on your own, but they have an FAQ section. It's not really all that interesting, but if you click on the link to the pre-registration site, it takes you to a Netmarble website for the game, and it basically just says right here, the 5th anniversary pre-registration, now live for the major update. So, I did watch Beats' video. It came out earlier. He was saying that like he's hoping for like a GrandCross 2.0, and I'm optimistic. I hope that it's also something really, really big, because we're supposed to be pushing into the 4 nights content in the second half of the anniversary. I don't know if it's going to come out like, I think they said in the dev notes that we got at the beginning of the month that we were going to be finishing up the 7 Deadly Sins storyline and then pushing into the 4 nights content in the second half. So that should be pretty big. I still don't really know who the anniversary character is going to be because they've kind of locked down the leaks and everything like that. I watched Nagato's video earlier. He's really hoping for an Escanor because he would be the most hype. I could maybe see that, but I think if they do stick to story chapter relevance, which is that tends to happen with a lot of the stuff that they do, I'm really hoping for a Merlin, I guess. Beats really wants a King because he is still missing his Power Ranger outfit, and King hasn't had a really good unit in a while, and I can kind of agree with that as well. But Merlin, I'm not a big fan of the fact that they locked the Infinity Merlin down to the Sins team with her Holy Relic, so I would actually really like a new Unknown Merlin, but I seen somebody, I think it was in my comments, say that he or she could end up being like a support for Arthur, which I don't know how likely that is, but it would make some sense that Merlin ends up sort of partnering up with Arthur once he gets his Chaos powers and stuff like that. So that could be interesting. I don't know how likely that is though, but the Unknown team is kind of back with the collab and everything. So you can see here's all of the stuff. I have already pre-registered. But basically, when you scroll down on this page, it's basically going to tell you to input your email that you use for your account, and then, I guess it doesn't have to be for the account that you actually use. They're basically just going to send you a coupon code at some point in the near future that you can input into the game and actually get the rewards up above. You'll have to pick, if you're on global, it asks you whether or not you're playing on iOS or Android, I guess, like Google Play Store. So because when I play on my phone, I'm on Google Play. I picked the Google Play option and then just put in my email and everything. But yeah, it's pretty simple. I did see on Nagato's video that the JP side wants you to put in some sort of verification code and everything. I have zero idea what's going on with that. They have seemed to have locked down the JP and KR sides of things a lot more recently, as far as like not letting outside players sort of do things. So I have no idea how to do any of that. If you guys know, feel free to leave a comment so that way people can do it on their own. But yeah, at some point you'll get a registration code. I'm hoping that they give you the coupon code link in the email. I hope, but if not, I'm sure we can try to go over that whenever it comes out. But either way, let's talk about the new Skadi, because I think that she's very interesting. If you haven't seen the patch notes in this update that I put out earlier, I mean, it's like last night-ish, but We are getting a new Skadi. We are getting LR Gallant as well. If you don't know what the Skadi does, she basically is another debuff unit like the previous Skadi. So for every debuff applied to the allies, increases allies' basic stat by 5%, max of 20. Decreases enemies' attack-related stats by 5, max of 20. Also, when the unit damages an enemy with an AoE skill, which she does have a Pierce AoE and her ultimate is AoE, it will apply Bleed for 2 turns to the enemy. That does make her runnable on Ratatasker, so keep that in mind. And that's a 2-turn bleed, and then for every debuff applied to the enemy, increases allies' damage by 5%, max of 40. So with Ratatasker, you're not going to be able to max that out, but she does work in every game mode except for Demons, which is our deathmatch. So, I mean, I've seen PvP showcases for her. I've seen Ratatasker showcases. I think that she's okay. Is she a must summon? I mean, obviously not. The anniversary should probably end up being the next banner coming out, so you're probably going to want to save your gems for that. I don't really recommend you summon for this. Plus, I don't think she is going to make Ratatasker easy. You know what I mean? So she's not supposed to be a Ratatasker unit herself. She just works on Ratatasker, and you can get some good use out of her. If anything, she's going to replace Gloxinia, or if you're still using King for the bleed, that is the slot that she's basically going to take up, because she's going to be used for the bleed part of her passive. And I think Gloxinia, with the the defense-related stats that you're getting from him, it's probably not really preferred. I do plan on trying her out, of course, but I do think that she's not like a must summon. If you wanted to summon for anybody to make the Ratatasker boss easier, it should have been Valenti, because with her only having the possibility to put bleed on, if you don't have Valenti to put the shock and the poison on, it's not going to matter, because the old Ragnarok Merlin team, she only has shock. If you're running King, he has bleed and poison, and you won't have shock. So you basically have to have the new Valenti if you want to be able to run this unit anyway. So if you don't have Valenti, you can pretty much just skip this outright. The banner itself, pretty ass. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, the new Skadi's rated up, of course. They did throw Galland on here because he's going to be getting his LR. Nanashi is old. You probably already have him. This Hakan Oslo, not very good, but maybe newer-ish. You might not have him, so that could be box CC. Elat could be box CC, plus I like the aggressive Angel team, so I prefer Elat, so I wouldn't be upset with pulling copies of her, but is she worth summoning for? Probably not. You have a couple of the Demonic Beast units on here, which is kind of nice. I did get a comment the other day saying that, I don't have Jormungand. This could be an opportunity to get Jormungand. I don't think that this is the best time to summon for that. I would definitely wait for Anniversary, but the rest of these units are pretty not great to summon for right now. So it is a 600 banner. It's not a step up or anything. So spending, at worst case scenario, 600 to get one copy of Skadi, probably not worth your time, to be honest with you. If you want to summon, or if you're on the fence about summoning, you want to see some gameplay, I do recommend, because obviously JP has access to the character already. I wanted to highlight some of the YouTubers that I watch for JP content. Devo, very good. I watched his showcase. He used the Giant team with her earlier. It's a little contradictory, because it says better than I thought in PvP. I don't think he won a single game with her. I mean, she performed okay, and she was able to make the team a bit tankier, but Giant team, probably not ideal, so I don't really recommend that. But Devo, cool dude. Check him out if you haven't already. Marilli has already... I watched his showcase for her on Demonic Beast, Ratatasker. He was able to beat it, and he used Fitoria as his DPS, which I thought was kind of interesting. That is another thing to note, is that if you are going to get Skadi, you probably don't want to have too much cleansing going on, because she is a character that you get stats for having debuffs on her. And I think it might be your whole team, the way that it's worded, but I'll see about that when the global translations come out. And you want to have debuffs on the enemy, which that's not like a big deal. But I personally use LR Zeldris for my Ratatasker fights, and that is going to let me kind of pick and choose who I want to cleanse debuffs off, because you can just move a card because his commandment is in play. But if you're still using melee, he's going to take a debuff off everybody at the beginning of each turn. So that is definitely something to note. You're taking away debuffs from your Skadi, which was a little contradictory to her passive. He also used the Ragnarok team with her. His actually performed pretty well, so I'm kind of interested to try that out as well. And then he's obviously messed around with Galland a little bit too. I do want to watch him use Galland on the Ratatasker boss as well, so I'll probably watch that a little bit later. But then for Galland himself, I had to watch Sora because he is a big Galland fan. And honestly, Galland not looking so hot. So, I mean, it's not like you have to summon for him anyway, unless you're just a newer player and you don't have him and you're planning on summoning on the Skadi banner for him. But I do not recommend you do that because he's looking pretty mediocre, and hopefully, he does not have a relic yet. Hopefully, whenever he does get a relic, it will bring him back up to where he should have been when he got his LR. I have no idea why they wanted to do it like this, but oh well. Yeah, check out some other YouTubers. Obviously, Nagato's another one. He's like the biggest content creator for the game, so the only reason I didn't show him is because you probably already watch him, if I had to guess. But either way, obviously, make sure you pre-register so that way you can get your coupon code. I don't really recommend you summon on this banner. I do plan on summoning later tonight whenever the banner goes live on Global, so if you're around for that, feel free to subscribe. If you're not already, we should be going live whenever the banner drops, and we'll be summoning, testing out the character, probably messing around with Galland a little bit as well on stream, and should be a pretty good time. I don't think there's a whole lot of like events or anything going on with this. We're kind of finishing out the collab stuff, and then I think next week's patch we should be getting a new Heroes Arena season as well. So I'm assuming there should be some stuff going on next week, maybe a little bit, or they might just end up saving it all for the 5th anniversary update, which should be in 2 weeks from now, roughly. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe. If you have any thoughts and opinions on the new characters, let me know. And yeah, I will see you guys later tonight for some live summons.